Indigenous language revival initiatives are efforts to revive and revitalize languages that have been lost or are in danger of being lost due to colonialism, genocide, and assimilation. These initiatives are often led by Indigenous communities who are passionate about preserving their culture and language. The first step for many Indigenous language revival initiatives is to identify the language that needs to be revived or revitalized. This often requires language experts to work with the local community to identify which language needs to be revived. Once the language has been identified, the next step is to create a plan for revitalization. This plan often includes developing materials and resources to help teach the language, as well as creating a network of educators and language speakers to help spread the language. The next step is to develop educational materials and resources to help teach the language. This often involves creating textbooks, audio and video recordings, and other tools to help teach the language. It also includes creating networks of language teachers and linguistic experts to help people learn the language. There are also often workshops and seminars to be held in the community to increase awareness about the language and to teach people how to use it. Finally, it is important to ensure that the language is used in everyday life. This often involves encouraging people to use the language in their homes and in their communities. It also involves creating spaces where people can come together to practice and use the language. This could include creating language clubs, language classes, or even organizing cultural events. Indigenous language revival initiatives are vital to preserving the cultural heritage of Indigenous communities around the world. By taking steps to revive and revitalize languages, communities are able to preserve their culture and pass it down to future generations. These initiatives are often led by passionate members of the community who are dedicated to preserving their language and culture. Through these initiatives, Indigenous communities are able to ensure that their language and culture are not forgotten.